Yeah. Yeah, we good? Let's see. Ooh. Let's check it out. Let's see. All right. I think we're good. Let's see. Mic check. And we are fucking good. Hey, listen. Can I get a fucking yeah? Yo, welcome to the Cuda podcast, episode 7. I haven't done one of these in such a long time. For some of you, it might be live. For a lot of you, it could also be a pre-recorded video. But welcome to the Cuda podcast. I've been wanting to have one of these for a very long time. It's almost been a year since we did one. So, what the fuck is going on? Our guest for tonight, the most famous, most craziest, wildest. You know what I'm saying? He talking about jumping generations. You know what I'm saying? Mr. JRPartlowIV, because number 3 was too motherfucking OG. How are we doing tonight, man?
What's up, Cuda Coods?
How we doing tonight,
today?
Man? How we doing? All right, and my other guest, all the way from who knows what country? From Potato Land himself, my Irish brother from another mother. Cryptic Rain, we bloody as fuck. Nylinc, proper Nylinc. Goes as Nylinc, goes as Ben, whatever you want to call him. How are we doing tonight?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be part of this podcast. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my fucking God. You did not just do that. Bro.
Excellent.
I cannot believe what you have done to yourself, you sexy individual.
Thanks for having me on the show, folks.
Hey man, how you doing today? All right. Anyways, welcome to the Cuda podcast. So I usually listen. This is my first ever virtual one. I usually do it IRL with friends that I know, and you know we've done 6 episodes throughout 2019 and so forth. Listen, I know JR and Nylinc. I didn't tell him, so I usually take a shot of whatever. I didn't have anything on me. You know, JR doesn't drink, I believe, right?
Nah.
Yeah, he doesn't drink. So I just got myself some G Fuel. These are my Cryptic Rain brothers. If you guys don't know, we started a team, clan, group, whatever you want to call it, a brand, whatever you actually want to call it. Cryptic Rain. And these are actually the first signees, man. Nylinc actually being the first. And let's talk about that. Nylinc, who are you? What do you do? What have you been up to?
I'm just a fucking idiot from Ireland. I love potatoes.
A lot of potatoes. There are a lot of potatoes.
I like playing video games. I like sniping people in the face.
Oh yeah. And Nylinc, how old are you, sir? Young man.
I am 21 years old.
21.
21
like
years old.
20. Yeah, dude. I feel fucking old as shit, but I'm
the Great Podcast Poggers.
Mega fucking pog. And Mr. JRPartlowIV, what do you do, man?
What do I do? So I do a lot of things. Do a lot of things, Cuda.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, I stay busy because if I'm not busy, I'm dying. Busy dying, you know?
That's
so I've always stayed busy. I'm a professional by day and 100%. A gamer by night. And normally my streams happen late night. So that's how I do it. Most of the time I'm working for the government. And I also own 3 businesses, a marketing firm, a photography firm, and then also an IT firm that I just started recently. So a little bit of everything, but I love what I do. And I think that, one of the things about gaming is the community. And that's one of the things I really enjoyed about, Xbox gaming. And then also coming over to now I do majority PC gaming because it's just more fun there.
Yeah, and actually, I think I basically, you could say I gave you the one sub, you know what I'm saying? Because you were mainly on console for a good period.
Yeah, but I was console until these two brought me to the light, and I saw the beauty of the other side.
And,
Dark side.
And where are we from, JR? Where are we at right now? Where are we representing from?
Originally from Atlanta, Georgia, but now in the nation's capital, the District of Columbia, also known AKA as DC.
Hey, you already know the vibes, baby. DC,
Yep.
baby. Hey, I don't know where the state of Washington is, but I know where DC is.
Yeah, where's the state of Washington?
Who knows, bro? And listen, another thing, Nylinc, what you represent? I know I said it a little early, but where you from, bro? Where we at? Where we posted at?
Where am I from? I said it
You're the
earlier. Bro.
farthest.
Fucking Ireland. Let's go.
Is there it's like a
Pongers.
what part of Ireland? Is there a specific area, like a small town or something? Can you say?
Well, I
Can
mean-
you say?
If I told you
Well, it would be known. Like,
if I told you the like big area that I'm from, you would probably be able to figure out where I live. That's how small this fucking country is.
so it's
so
okay.
I'm gonna leave.
All right, so write that down. Right
I'm
there.
gonna leave it there.
I write it down. Right, everyone. Find him. Whoever gets me him, 100,000 in your wallet.
Actually, not myself.
But listen, let's get straight to listen. Let's get a little background on how we met, because some people don't know who really you are. Like for the ones that from my YouTube, from the Twitch, a lot of you guys familiar face. You guys are very familiar. You guys are like brothers to me on the streaming scene. Where did we even meet, man? What, Nylinc? I met you on Mixer. Mixer first, right? I think we both met at Mixer, right?
Gang.
Yeah, Mixer Gang. And listen, we represent, even though a lot of shit has gone down from Mixer. If you guys don't know, Mixer shut down from actually one of the was it not developer? What was it from? Wasn't it one of those? I forgot. Creative team or do you remember? I know it was Milan. The name. It was one of those members that came out on racism. Yeah. So it was a big thing. So we originally met me, JR. Actually, I remember raiding JR once, and then JR fell in love right away.
Love at first raid.
Love at first raid.
Love at first raid.
And actually, backstory on Nylinc as well. Nylinc is actually the second person to ever raid me. And you always say raid. You can't let that go, man. He was the first one, and ever since, man, I always stop by, and he's always stopped by. Same thing. And just the fact that we're all together, representing Crit the Grain. You know what I'm saying? Drippy Blue. Let's get straight into our first topic. Actually, this is actually kind of big. We're actually talk about this like all the time, JR. The PS5s, the Xbox One Series, and the Nvidia cards. What are your thoughts on those? Did you get your hands on one? I know we talked a little bit off stream and about you getting what, the 3080, or what is it you going for?
3090. That's what I was going for, the 3090. But the bots got it before I could get it. I think that I'm done with probably done with consoles. As long as I can use the controller with a PC, I think that's all I needed.
That's the thing though. Like listen, even though all my life I've been on consoles, and I still love my PS4, I still love my Xbox One. I mean, even though I don't use my Xbox One as much, I still go back to my PS4 occasionally for the exclusivities and all the fun games like Last of Us, all those fun games. But PC has been these last few years, or not even that, for years, ever back then, PC's been dominating. They've been ahead of the game, ahead of the game for a very long time. They even with these new Nylinc, were you always a PC gamer or console gamer?
I was on console initially. I think everybody was when they were younger. I was on console from the age of like 4 or 5 maybe to like, I want to say I started to switch over when I was about 13.
First console, Nylinc, what was it?
First console was, I want to say a PS1.
PS1.
Probably. I didn't actually own it.
Really?
The first console I owned was a PS2. That was mine.
Okay.
Really? So, I actually never had a PS1. I never owned one. My first official console was a PlayStation 2, and I don't know. I have a very vivid memory of my first game. I think it was like a motorcycle game. I don't know if there's any like popular motorcycle games, but
shit, I'm trying to think.
I can't think of anything. Yeah, but I remember that was my first official console. Technically, if it wasn't that, it would be my Game Boy, but I don't really consider that a console,
And I'm a little bit older than both of y'all, so my first console, Nintendo. The original Nintendo.
Oh shit,
man!
man!
Blow out the cartridge, Nintendo.
Oh my, with the 64?
Put it over your shirt. No, not the 64.
No,
the
even
further. Not from 63rd.
The original Nintendo.
What's the original Nintendo even look like?
That's the one with the rectangular controller. With the red button and the gray button.
Right.
And the A and B. All that. Yeah.
When did that come
my
out?
original game.
When did that come out?
Shoot, I don't know. I just know that I had it right when I was born. And then my dad was a super strong, he designed games. Some of the games are still in existence. Yeah, so he was a game designer, and he was part of the team that designed Doom, the original Doom.
The original Doom?
We're talking about floppy disk Doom. Yeah, floppy disk Doom.
Nice.
That's crazy.
So computers and gaming were not ever dismissed away from my life because of my dad. You know, he had a heavy influence. Later, he got into security, cybersecurity and whatnot, protecting software so that people couldn't steal. Like, for example, now you have all these digital downloads on Activision or whatnot. And so what he makes sure is that someone couldn't steal that and not pay for it. Right.
Yeah,
so security from that point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
He's talking about the NES. Yeah, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's just tough, bro. That is tough.
Nice suit. Thanks, Saul. It was a last minute decision. I thought I had to do something funny.
Hey, man, my man out here. I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even know he was gonna pull like that.
I was like, yo, I'm still setting some shit up. I can't turn on my camera right now. I didn't even let him know.
Right.
I was like, I'm just gonna pull this out and see how he reacts.
But anyways, back to what we were talking about with the PS5s being sold out. You get any hands on? You get it? You pre-order it? You got it confirmed in your email? No? JR?
Negative.
Neither one.
Negativo. I don't think I'm gonna buy another Xbox. Let me be honest. Unless I get it for free.
You didn't get the card either, right? The Nvidia cards?
Nah. The card was sold out 2 seconds after. Like, I couldn't even refresh fast enough.
Yes. And I think Nylinc might be the only one then, right? Nylinc, what did you get?
There's an issue with that too, actually. I did put a pre-order down pretty much as soon as the event was over, maybe an hour afterwards when they announced shit. I went on the GameStop website, do my taxes, fuck's sake. I went on the GameStop website and then I was able to, like, after refreshing and shit, it was saying it was out of stock, and then I managed to get one through for the digital one. But it said I was in a queue, which I thought was really weird. So I think I'm still in a queue, but I'm probably one of the first people in.
Oh, really?
It turned out that they were actually, like, they started the pre-orders, they jumped the gun, and they started them, like, way before the event even started. Which I didn't know. So other people probably got them in if they were, like, stalking the GameStop website. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
I found this out through a YouTube video. I was just, like, randomly checking, like, Xbox and PS5 news on YouTube, like, 2 days ago. And I was watching a story. I was just listening to the different news stories, and then all of a sudden this dude says, and now fucking GameStop Ireland are sending out
I think Ireland was one of the first
to their customers saying that that they might have trouble getting PS5s to the people who pre-ordered on day one. And I was like, wait, what? Because it was an American guy as well, so I was tripping. I was like, what the fuck? I had to rewind, and it did say GameStop Ireland. I was like, oh shit. And then I went and checked my email. There was nothing there. But I hope that I can be one of the people to actually get it on day one.
So you're technically still in queue?
Mm-hmm. I'm still in queue, I guess, technically. But even if I did get a pre-order, it looks like they're not going to get PS5s out to everybody on day one. So I just hope that I'm one of the lucky ones.
Shit, man. So then no access. But that's the thing. Now, you think we would have one if there wasn't any bots? So I don't know if you know, but you know for sure those three items, the PS5, the Xbox One, and the Nvidia cards, all botted for sure, like 100%
in America,
like in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Them shits were like shot. If anyone out there got one, hey man, listen, lucky, yo, they're probably reselling so much.
Jared got one, so
Jared got the 3080, I believe. Shout out to Jared FPS, man.
Even if you did pre-order and you think you got one, I wouldn't hold your breath, because they could easily turn around and say, sorry, we're having trouble fulfilling orders and giving your money back.
You think day one they're gonna be available, like in retail? Because I know cards aren't
in retail. They've said, I think Sony came out and said that they were gonna have more PS5s available like on day one in stores than there were PS4s, but I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Woo.
Fucking woo bag baby. Hey man, listen. I all I care about. I don't really care about necessarily on the Xbox. The new Xbox. It's like there's not a lot of exclusivity games. Like think of a game that's exclusive to Xbox.
It's not
Halo.
Anymore. Like you can play it on PC.
Right.
Yeah, and you can play it on PC.
So like fuck
anything that's Xbox exclusive is on PC.
Yeah, so it's like So you know that basically I still want to get it. Just I really want to like. There has to, you know what? I might not even get it anymore. Now I'm thinking about it because like for real, there isn't anything crazy. Because if they make something where it's only Xbox One, like exclusive, like Halo, but like only for Xbox, then
They won't do it, man. Like honestly,
but like
they know they're losing customers, and they're trying to do this whole cross.
They're doing a Game Pass
thing where you can play it on the Series X, you can play it on the Xbox One, you can play it on the PC. It doesn't matter if you own it on one, you own it on all. You know what I mean?
That is crazy. The Game Pass is doing great, man.
Yeah, they upped the price of the Game Pass on PC though. That annoyed me. I had to cancel mine because I was like,
what is the price?
It was
like $5, right?
$5 a month, and now it's up to like $12.
Yeah.
Because it's come out of
beta. It's like
$12.99.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's come out of beta.
Do you guys have the
I
Game Pass?
canceled mine. I'll re-enable it if I want to start playing games, but at the moment I'm not playing any games on my Game Pass, so there's no point in them just taking money from me.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, so I got an incentive on Discord that was like 3 months free.
I got that too. Actually, it's funny you say that. I was gonna say that I got the 3 months or whatever, but I thought that was for if you got like Nitro or something on Discord.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, listen, if you don't have Nitro on Discord, and if you want to join the Discord or any of the socials, be sure to check the description out in this podcast. Leave a like already. Just a little reminder. Thank you.
My nice JR lawyer confirmed.
Actually, that's JR. That's JR, bro. But let's get to our next topic. I hopefully this is for both because do you guys own iPhones?
I do not.
What? Yeah, Android.
I do.
I had an iPhone. My last phone was an iPhone, but I don't own an iPhone right now.
All right, thoughts on the new iOS 14, JR? So this is really pertaining JR.
Thoughts on the new iOS 14? I don't know. I really don't think they did anything other than make it more like an Android than ever before.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I came from, like I had the original. So I actually, let me see. Let's see if I have it. Come on.
I had an Android too. Shout out to fucking BlackBerry and Sidekick. You know what I'm saying?
Here you go. Here you go. I just happen to have it in my desk because I always keep it as a reminder of where I come from and where we came from. Ooh. That's the original iPhone.
Nice. Wow!
Right?
Holy shit! Put that right to the camera.
Nice. See it right there?
Wow! That's the original iPhone.
That's an original. It says at the bottom. Let's see.
Wow.
That's crazy.
iPhone, right? So I come from this. Around halfway through it, once they got like to the iPhone 4, I moved over to Android for a little while, and I was a Samsung kid. And then I moved up to the Samsung Galaxy Note, which I loved, the little stylus and stuff like that. And then later, so what I would always have problems with Android devices was that they always overheated during major events, and I do a lot of marketing. So I would be live tweeting an event, taking pictures or video,
explode,
and it would just all of a sudden freeze up or not send tweets or not do what I needed to do. And then what I noticed was my government phones were always Apple. So I would use the Apple and it would work seamlessly because it doesn't.
You know what it is too? But listen, iPhones aren't perfect either. They overheat eventually, Like you ever watch a stream or play a game or something and this shit will, I don't know. Remember the Mixer app? Remember that Mixer app on
iOS?
Yeah, bro. My shit would be like, I could cook some eggs on my shit. You know what I'm saying? It's easy, insane.
Right.
And what I found out very good though for a lot of people like who just they don't want anything too complicated. Like iPhones, there's no doubt they just work.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
For the most part.
I can and the thing about, like I was going to say, the thing about iPhones was that I can give it to my grandma. You know what? She'll be able to work it. I can give it to my niece that's only 4 years old. She'll figure out a way to get to what she wants to get to. You know, like it's easy,
4-year-old kids these days, though, they know exactly what
they know
doing.
exactly,
they know
bro.
more about your phone than you do.
This generation is insane, man.
Yeah. I swear to God, my little cousins and stuff, like you could hand them a phone like at 2 years old. They can't even talk, but they know how to use a fucking phone.
They use that phone. They can download the new app. They can update everything.
And they'll tell you, hey, download this. Can you get this? Can you update? Like they know exactly what needs to happen. And what I've seen, so ever since Steve Jobs died, rest in peace, Steve Jobs.
R.I.P. Man.
What you saw was the evolution of iPhone has just been an evolution towards Android. You know, like remember iPhones used to be simple, small, compact, right? It was supposed to be something you could hold in your hand. Now my iPhone is like as big as my face, right?
Dude, shit's just huge, man. They're like, fuck. Bro, you ever get hit by like a Max? Destroyed in the middle of the night? Yo, them shit's hurt. But listen, you know what? As a kid, I don't know about you guys, but or like the older like Androids, I used to like the older. Or have you ever owned a BlackBerry?
A BlackBerry. I never did, but
I love the buttons, bro. As a kid, I used to love pressing a button, and when I used to like not having an iPhone, I used to hate just screen. You know, like touching screen. Shit, like I was like, what about the letters? Like I want to press a button and all that.
Yeah.
So
now it's all screen.
Before I used to even have a home button. I think in the future we're not even gonna have side like buttons here. Like more cameras. It's insane like how technology has evolved throughout the years, and I used to think as a kid like nothing gets better than this BlackBerry. Nothing gets better than this Sidekick. There's always
the Sidekick.
The Sidekick is fucking.
It was
that
the
used to be poggers, bro.
Best marketed because you had all the hip hop stars,
all the kids,
rappers.
Yeah, dude, I used to love it.
Put it in the Sidekick. Put your girl's number in the Sidekick, and they flip it around. Like found it, and you'd be like, man.
If you had a Sidekick,
I need a Sidekick.
If you had a Sidekick, instant pussy, like instantly.
Right.
Actually, backing on to this story though. With continuing on from iOS 14, you've also got the new iPhones right around the corner. The iPhone 12 has just gone into production, and they are not stopping. They've said that they're paying bonuses. I think they're saying that it's mandatory overtime for the staff over in China. They're not allowed to have breaks or anything like that. It's like super long days, mandatory overtime. They're like, there's no holidays. They're not allowed to take any holidays, but they're getting paid extra for it.
Bro, but I thought it was declined. Like, wasn't it like delayed for like another year or something? So
it was delayed, but
not
now
for a year. It's delayed for like months, I think.
For the end, yeah,
because it's September, right?
The end of the year,
wasn't it? It's always September that the new iPhones drop, or
it's always September,
or sometime.
It's gonna be closer to the end of the year this time, I think.
Oh wow, that's gonna be interesting, actually.
Yeah, and apparently there's an iPhone 12 mini, which is gonna go for like $650 or something crazy.
Insane. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I know with Apple technology, I'm always like, I get the first one always,
bro. But now, do you think? All right, so this goes almost a little back to the Xbox, the PS5, and the Nvidia cards being sold out. Do you think this device? You think the new iPhone is gonna be botted as well?
Oh,
where like it's gonna be sold out like that?
No,
botting has been like, I feel like, listen, I had said it many times before that I feel like these new products and this new technology, especially with this time with the Rona, you know what I'm saying? People are botting and reselling, and they're becoming like sneakers. Like the PS5 is like sneakers right now. Like if you go to the sneakers app, new release, gets sold out right away. Gets sold on a StockX or the Go app. They get resold for more, like way beyond what it really was on retail. Like retail will be $100, it'd be like $1,000 for like depending on the shoe.
The only reason I disagree that it will be botted is because of the mere fact that when phones are made, there are contractual agreements between networks. Right, so you have AT&T, you have the Verizons, these are big networks, and they secure a certain amount of orders for themselves. I think that if you're trying to buy it flat cash, then those are probably those are probably gonna be sold out day one. But I think there are a certain allotment that go to AT&T, a certain allotment that go to Verizon. Like these are things, and that's how. Right, and that's how my service works. Like every year, I get a new phone, no matter what, because I'm on a yearly recycle. So like that kind of thing. I don't think those will be sold out, but I think if you're trying to buy it, cash money day one, then I don't think there's any hope for that.
All right, but are you gonna get the new iPhone if it were to come out, let's say, next month?
Yeah, I always get it
instantly, even if it has problems. Because usually that's the thing with new technology. It always comes.
Remember the 6? Do you remember the iPhone 6 when it came out? The 6 Plus, especially people were sitting on it. And
dude, they used to breaking it like this. They used to be like,
you could bend the shit out of it. That's why they brought out the 6S with the stronger metal.
Just to think that we've jumped 6 iPhones ahead. Like the 6, like people still have 6s, and that used to be such a popular phone. It still is. I know a lot of people that still have the 6, and it's like, bro, my shit's still good. But I think we're getting
probably the most popular iPhone at the moment, like that anyone has.
Yeah, like I think everybody has one.
I still have a 6S. I have a 6S.
I actually never had one.
6S in the other room right now, and then I have an iPhone 10.
I think my first iPhone was the 5C. The colored one?
5C.
The
cheap one. The colorful one.
The cheap one, of course.
It was good at the time, though.
It was for its time.
It was good, but it was like that low end iPhone.
It was
I think my first was a 4, I think.
I had a 4, but I never had it as a phone. It was like just there for like apps, like games. And I was
Oh, I had an iPod Touch before that, actually, the original one.
Oh my god, the iPod Touch. Actually, you know what's crazy?
First gen iPod Touch.
Shout out to Jenth. He actually had the Touch, like the iPod Touch for everything. He didn't even phone. He would FaceTime me off like his Touch.
I know people who did that, like right up until the end of school.
Do they
right
still have that?
Graduation.
Do they still have Touches? No, right?
I think so.
They have some sort of iPod device.
I think so. The last generation of Touches I remember.
But what would be the reason for a Touch anymore?
Music.
That's the thing, but I feel like these kids. I don't know if you know, like we talked about with how kids have their own phones and stuff. I think they don't even want to. Like, there's no point of having a Touch. It's basically a phone. I honestly
think
the only thing was
they killed the iPod Touch when the iPhone came out. Honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean the iPhone was out still. It's just you would have access to like apps and stuff like that, and I think they transitioned
together.
To basically one.
The phone became
because the phone was because the phone really wasn't there for apps and stuff like that. It just could do something.
An iPod Touch, but it can do more shit. So like, why would you bother?
The Touch at one point was obviously better because of the apps and stuff like that. And
I mean, it's way cheaper. I guess
it is way cheaper.
Like the only thing I can think of.
Yep. And I have to tell you, this was my first MP3 player.
I was gonna say, oh my god, JR, how do you just chilling on this?
I keep it all. So there's like 30,000 songs on this thing.
30,000 songs.
What's the most visible as an external hard drive by any computer it's plugged into.
You got Pop Smoke on there, don't you?
30,000 songs.
30,000 songs, all downloaded, stolen. All great,
Stolen!
Straight from Cuda, LimeWire, and all your, all your great programs that used to exist where it wasn't stolen back then. That was just accessible as peer-to-peer sharing, and there was no problem with it legally. But yeah, I had 30,000 songs on it. I keep it like I.
What was your favorite song? What's the most popular song?
Oh my goodness, favorite song probably Lil Bow Wow stuff. Like back in the day, like Bow Wow goes hard. So I think it's definitely Bow Wow or something Bow Wow and Tyga, because Bow Wow and Tyga, that combination is pretty aggressive.
Listen, this is actually another topic. Hold on, it is before we forget, because it was gonna be a topic. I was gonna add it, but I was like, because it's trending now. I don't know if you heard about Tyga. You know what happened with Tyga recently? Like literally just this morning. Tyga started his OnlyFans, and it's trending with his fucking dick all over the internet right now. God. So it's crazy. And there's like memes everywhere with little Bow Wow. And
that's funny.
But that's all I'm saying. My man really
doing some Bella Thorne shit.
It kind of goes transitions to the next question on the topic. What are your thoughts on OnlyFans and how that's been a thing? Like, you know how before it would be just I don't know, porn, and then cams only. Or only
well, you did have cam websites before, but that shit was like
But now it's like you see your typical teenager that could be like, hey, listen, I could get the bag real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I get easy. Now it's so accessible and not so accepting. You don't even need to do nudes necessarily. But like the fact that like I could go on my personal Instagram and know local friends that have their OnlyFans, and it's like normal now. Like before, like people would be judged for that.
It's honestly.
Like not like you have your OnlyFans right now. You have an OnlyFans.
Like it's.
What are your thoughts on that?
Fucking simp culture.
Simp culture, 100%.
Like it's making simping okay, which is not. Like you're literally paying to see pictures of somebody. Like it defeats.
But do you have an issue now?
She's never gonna want to go out with you if you pay for her OnlyFans.
Now, do you have an issue with that? Like, does it bother you that there's kids making so much money off really like somewhat showing nudity and like it's like teenagers?
I don't blame the people who have an OnlyFans account and they're making all this money.
So who do you blame? The people that actually are paying? Because they're charging $40, $5, or like different prices for certain things, and I think it's not even like a subscription. On top of that, you got to pay another additional fee for like a certain photo, a video. So like it's crazy. JR, what are your thoughts on that?
So I honestly think so. First of all, I'm for freedom of expression of any type. So I'm for OnlyFans, any other type of content, because I think that once we crack down on those, we also crack down on what we do every day, right? Twitch. Like they're basically doing kind of like the same thing that we're doing. The only difference is that they're exposing themselves, which is putting themselves at risk. Which, hey, that is up to them. But I also think that when we look at it, just like on Twitch, not everybody's making gazillion dollars.
Right.
You know, it's the same.
There's gonna be some shitty. There's some shitty OnlyFans.
Right. I would say that 99% of the people on there do not make that much from it.
100%.
There's a 1%, and this is a 1% that probably always would have made the bag. Right, because they either came over from a pornography site or they came over from creating this kind of content in a closed environment before, and now it's more open, and they're able to just engage with their community. Before, it was kind of like, and I think that this is a revolution towards freedom of speech as well, because before this kind of content was considered something that you hide in the darkness. Right? Yeah. So you would still produce it. Like these guys are still producing it, but now they're actually able to create their community. They always had a community.
But yeah, that is true. Don't transition because they got to keep up to date with this. Because like I bet there's porn stars, there's like cam girls that do this daily. So they're not like, oh, now this is a nice transition. Now it's normal. But listen, now think about what if you had your own daughter or your niece that's doing this, right? And she's doing some nudity, like. What are your thoughts on that? Like, would you be angry or would you support her?
I think that it's a hard subject to address, right?
Like, you have a sibling, what if your mom, or sister wants to do a fucking OnlyFans? Would you be mad?
See, or you support? That's the thing. Like, if
they're getting the bag, or your girlfriend or something,
then it's smart. It's the fucking idiots that pay for it I have the issue with, not the person with the account. You know what I mean?
Like Belle Delphine when she sold her bathwater.
Like Belle Delphine, she's a marketing fucking genius because she managed to somehow get people to buy bathwater
and drink it.
She has made millions.
Bro, she's like she's our age, Nylinc. She's 20. I think she just turned 21. She's actually maybe younger. I think she might be 20 or 21, and she's selling bathwater and people are drinking it. Older men, they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'd chug that shit. I'd be like,
so I think,
but she starts charging.
I think that the big thing is, as content creators of any type, no matter who we are or whatever platform we're on, we have a responsibility to our communities to not take advantage of them. Because I think that you can easily, as we become bigger streamers, or also when you look at bigger streamers, they have people that will do anything for them. spend all the money in their bank account, have their kids starving on the street, so that they could just get a tier 3 or gift 100 subs.
Right.
You know,
it's
like
just they get a satisfaction out of it. And it's almost like, I don't even know. Like this generation is just like, it's more accepting. I feel like the more that time goes by, like I think OnlyFans is just gonna be just a little like a first step to what's next. There's definitely gonna be something even crazier probably in the future. Which
But I think the responsibility component of just content creation is what we have to like regard, like OnlyFans or Twitch or Facebook gaming. Like, because you have to be a responsible content creator and also be conscious that people are people, and sometimes you might have. So there are addictive personalities that would benefit you personally, but sometimes you might have to cut them off, just like at a bar. Like after a certain limit, they're cutting you off from the source. It's not that you don't have money to do it. It's just we're cutting you off because we have your interest in mind. Yeah, we know that you'll endanger not just at a certain point. You're not endangering just yourself. You're endangering your family, your kids, everyone on the road. Like there's a responsibility, and we have to be as content creators responsible. What are you saying, Nylinc?
That's kind of what I was getting at, in the sense that I think it's a problem creating simp culture, in the sense that, like, obviously you can, spend money and do whatever you want. But when it gets to a point where it's like, say a younger person or even a full grown adult, like stealing someone's credit card or whatever to donate fucking thousands on like OnlyFans or even Twitch or anything like that, and you're affecting other people, that's an issue.
That is a huge issue. Like, imagine a kid like accidentally
putting themselves, even if it was their own money, and they're putting themselves in like financial turmoil just to please somebody else.
Oh man, imagine though, that'd actually be insane. If like, let's say some little Timmy doesn't know what he's doing, spending his mom's credit card on like.
I think it happens all the time.
I bet it happens all the time. Yeah, it's just not really talked about.
Like some of the major streamers, when you see a 100 sub or something like that, and then you look up the person, you'll find it leads to you either don't know where it's coming from, or it leads to like an ordinary Joe. And then I'm like, wait, ordinary Joe works at Pizza Hut. So he's literally spending his whole paycheck on you. Yeah. Like for that month. So what happens with his rent? What happens with this? What happens?
They ruin themselves.
Like it's a deeper story, and like just as much as we love to provide content, we also have to be conscious of our audience, and when we are given access to a certain part of someone's life where you're like, oh, what do you do for a living? And you find out he works at Pizza Hut and he's gifting that much. Maybe you should give him.
You should be like, maybe you shouldn't do this.
Right. Maybe you shouldn't do this. And maybe even out of interest for him, even if he hates you for life, cut him off from the source. Ban him. Like, because you don't want him to ruin his family.
What if,
I don't think, I think actually that this should be a feature on Twitch. I think that at the moment it doesn't exist, but it definitely should. Like, there's no way to stop incoming donations, and I feel like banning the person from the stream just because they're giving you money is a really like awful, but it's kind of the only solution at the moment. But if you could, and it doesn't even really stop it, all you can do is like refund the money once it's been sent. And there should be an option to cut off donations from a certain person that you can't receive them.
But the average streamer, the average the average streamer would normally get a donation like that and wouldn't even give a fuck. They'd be like, yo, I don't even care. I don't give a fuck if you gave me like $100. I'm taking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So like, it depends on the streamer too. Like there's some streamers that will look into that. Like, and shout out to them because they're probably like the real OGs. Like, all right, I have enough. I don't really need this. And like, but just to think, no one has ever thought the fact there's probably some people that steal money and then spend it on streamers. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever thought of that? Like, I never thought of that until now. Imagine, like, what if somebody steals somebody?
That's like somebody stealing a car and selling it to you, and then that you find out that
he's like, I gave you money, but I stole it. Yeah. It's like, imagine, like, what do you do?
Like, I didn't steal the car. I bought it from someone who stole it. So how do you fix that problem?
I don't even know, bro. You just gotta. I don't even know. I wouldn't know.
And I think that what I've seen on other sites that are kind of like, so I think that Twitch, these kind of platforms are actually structured gambling. It's the same thing. And you have addictive personalities that want to give, or bet in because they receive something satisfactory from that experience, that exchange. And I think that what Twitch should probably add, other than the ban, is a weekly threshold or a monthly threshold, right? So
that's not a bad idea. You know what I thought about? Why after a certain, I mean, in general, your bank will hit you up saying like, "Hey man, you're spending like $100,000 on this one guy. Why are you doing this?" I think they should have that automatically in Twitch, where like if you're spending over 100 subs again, maybe it should be like, "Hey man." Like you said, like a threshold almost, or maybe even like now you have to put some identity, maybe identify yourself. You can't just be anonymous. Like you got to make sure, like if you got to be like Steve Jobs to be throwing 100,000 on a random streamer, like because little Timmy, let's say, doesn't know what he's doing, accidentally hits 100,000 or 10,000 instead of 100 or even $1.
And that's almost like a safety Twitch then as well, is that issue. That's only when you're talking about their currency as in like subs and bits and shit. But when you then take into account that you've also got Streamlabs and Stream Elements and like PayPal me's, how do you solve those two?
Oh yeah. And I hate
there also has to be stuff put in there.
I don't know about you guys, but I hate like PayPal, the fact that you don't necessarily, even the streamer doesn't get the full amount. If you think about it, like let's say you donate, they take the fee. It's like you get a $2 donation, you really get $150.
Yeah,
like,
I know. And that's why PayPal stays alive. That's why.
That is true. They got to, because like they're gonna.
That's why Elon's a genius. That's why he never runs out of money.
Elon's a fucking god, bro. Let's move on to the next.
That's why we're going to Mars.
No, I don't know if you guys heard it recently. It's actually maybe like a week or two ago, but. Burger King's $2 meal. Have you heard of it?
Oh, you told me about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A burger, side of fries, I think 4 chicken nuggets or like 6 chicken nuggets, and a drink. $2.
That's got to be a limited time thing, right?
No. It may be. But the fact that you could get that whole meal for $2, for a fact, something's up with Burger King. Like that's not real meat. I'm not buying it. Like that's a risk right there. Honestly, what are your thoughts of that?
Like I mean, it's $2.
Think about it. A burger, right?
How are they making
I think it's like a mini Whopper or something. I never really been to Burger King like that.
So I think to Nylinc's point, Cuda, what you have when Burger King is doing that, first of all, they have to already meet the FDA standards, and actually produce food that is healthy, right? It has to meet certain health requirements.
Yeah. Right, health supersize me, baby.
What I'm saying is it has to meet health requirements. It's not going to be like dog meat or anything like that. So they have to meet those. But what they're deciding to do is to take a loss for acquiring a new market, like a new space, like a new what is it called? A new target market, right?
Yeah, so either that, they're either doing that, or they've just discovered that they have a shitload of product that's like on the brink of being not okay anymore.
That's the weird. See, that's the weird thing I'm thinking about. Because I work. I don't know if you guys know. I work at a pizza place, right? It's different, bro. We're like saving this. My pizzeria is saving so much money, and produce has been going up the roof. I'm saying like products like tomato sauce, fucking cheese, like shit like that goes up like ridiculous amount, and to the point where the expenses are insane. And I'm like, this is bullshit. They have, like you said, they have a brink of something, but there's definitely, it's not natural. It's something definitely. There's got to be like, I think somebody said horse meat or something, some cheap alternative. But the fact that we're in with this, the whole Rona situation is happening, everything is going up in price. Everything. When it comes to the food industry.
It could be the fact that the whole Rona situation has happened and they've been sitting on a bunch of product that's been going out of date.
That's where it's like, it could depend on, it could be different food places. Yeah, that is true. That's the thing, because they could sit on patties and stuff because how long they last. You really, for like a pizzeria place, you really need like tomato sauce, cheese, like that goes by, you know what I'm saying? Like it expires, but meat, like think about it, potatoes eventually expire, I believe. No, like
like everything.
Yeah, everything expires.
Drinks, everything expires. But I think patties or like whatever they have, who knows what the fuck's in there. But just the fact that you get that for $2, bro, like I don't know, it's definitely not something I would try, or like not a steal, but I seen people talk about it being almost like a help for like the homeless, because they're very like, there's a lot of homeless people, and that $2, that $3 could save somebody, you know, from starving, you know. Like an average Joe can just get $2-3. He get a whole burger, medium fries, chicken nuggets, and a drink like that. You got your set. That's a lot of food, you know, for $2. But I guess plus tax. But like, you know,
they wouldn't do anything like that here. I think as well, it could actually be, because I know the health standards for fast food and stuff over there definitely are a lot lower than they are in Europe. And this, like, the Burger King you get over here is completely different to the Burger King you can get over there. I can almost guarantee that.
What?
Just because they're allowed to use different shit, and they're gonna do whatever they can to make it cost effective, right? So they're gonna use the cheapest materials that they possibly can in the given area, as long as they're meeting the laws, the legislation and stuff. They'll use the cheapest thing that they can. So sense. The quality of the food in Europe, where the food health standards are higher, is gonna be better, which is why I don't think they could ever afford to do a deal like that here.
And you know, it's funny you say where you're at, because you eat a Subway here and then you eat a Subway over there in Ireland, it's probably so much fresher. Even though it is like a big company, you know,
Subway's franchise. Here, but I've heard every single person from America that I've talked to about Subway, they say it's trash, and that there's so many like better local places
it's all
that
like
do
processed
stuff.
Shit. It's gross. And recently something about Subway that was trending, not bad. You know the bread from Subway is actually so bad. It's like they changed it. I think they got a notice on them, because the bread is apparently, they have a shit ton of sugar, to the point where it's not even bread anymore. It's cake. They're saying. I saw it literally recently on Twitter or on the news. It's just like, even the bread is so unhealthy. Like here, like I don't know if it's like they use so much sugar to the point it's not even bread. Like literally, it's just cake with meat, like processed meat. So like that kind of like it's kind of weird. JR, would you spend $2 on a Burger King meal, or would you even like, I don't know if you go to like Subway or eat Subway?
I don't necessarily eat at those places.
Right.
But I said that, you know, like Subway, I would eat a Subway, but I'm vegetarian too, so. You know, like there's a certain amount of what I allow in. So I could understand questioning meat sources, but for me, I've never had to do that. You know, because I am a vegetarian, because I have been vegan. I was vegan for 15 years. Like I never had to do that kind of stuff. Ooh. Yeah.
Shit, son.
I actually, that's another thing. Do like fast food places and everything over there, do they have the calories and stuff written on the menu right next to what it is? Because I know over here in Subway, it actually tells you right next to the sub on the menu how many calories are in it.
Sometimes. It all depends on, like, I know that McDonald's was making a big push towards transparency around the calories and what you're actually putting in. So some McDonald's places have the calorie amounts. And I think some restaurants just in general, like the fast food, they'll have the actual calorie amount. Like I think, I'm trying to think of the other one. Like McDonald's, Burger King, even, you know, Taco Bell, like they all have their calorie counts.
Yeah, like a lot of the places.
I'm gonna also say that they have their calorie counts, but they encourage large quantities, even though, you know, like it doesn't.
They have deals and shit.
Still comes with 15 tacos. Like it's like, all right,
tacos.
Yeah, I fucking like a lot of the places over here, I know McDonald's specifically does this. They don't necessarily like throw the calories right at you because they don't want to scare you off, but they do something kind of smart. On every tray that they give you food, you know, the paper on the bottom of the tray, if you flip that over, it's got an entire like list of all the calories on the menu.
Nutrition facts.
If you flip the paper over.
Yeah, if you're eating McDonald's, I don't even, for the ones that eat McDonald's or trying to track all that shit, don't eat McDonald's, idiot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't eat that shit, motherfucker. Like, I want to try to keep healthy, but I'm trying to eat McDonald's. Like, no, bro, you fucking up with already going to McDonald's. All right, we're gonna go to our next topic. Oh, actually, let me ask the last question for that topic. So, will you eat that box, the $2 meal?
I'd eat it.
You eat it?
I'd eat fucking anything.
If it was like if there's an Impossible Burger like upgrade, you know, for another $1.
Like, I mean, it's at the end of the day. I mean, the food standards might be low, but it still has to be food, right? So I'll fucking eat it.
I wouldn't eat it. That's like
that's
like a Taco Bell run.
I think would I eat it? Yeah.
You eat
I wouldn't
it?
eat it all the time, but like,
I don't know. Something about it is just so scary. I wouldn't even.
I mean, I eat Taco Bell, so
I'd eat it once in a while, but like I would not eat it all the time. I
but
wouldn't
like
eat it regular.
Like eating Taco Bell though. Like I don't know if about you guys, but I eat Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell usually is like a late night meal type deal. Like you never want to eat Taco Bell in the morning or like even afternoon. Really, it's like really like late night is when everybody really gets Taco Bell. If you think about it, like JR, you getting like late night meals, right? And like it's always a 50-50 for me when I go to Taco Bell. It's like, will this shit make me fucking gassy as fuck? Might make my stomach hurt, or would it like actually be okay? Because like,
and think about it, like
it's always a 50-50. I threw up. You know how many times I've thrown up or like or have had bad bathroom trips off Taco Bell, and I still eat that shit. Like, you know, sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's like, oh fuck, like I'm fucked. Yeah. So I was
gonna say, even with me, like I'm ordering quintessentially all vegetables, and it still doesn't do me right sometimes.
Right.
You know, like
sometimes you gotta.
It's like crazy. It seems crazy to me.
You know, like a lot of those places too. You ever think about the coli with like romaine and shit like that? You ever heard of that?
Like E. coli.
Like, yeah. So it's like some of that shit's
not
like,
really. I only worry about it when they actually do like outbreaks and stuff like that. Then maybe, but like, normally they dial back. Like everybody pulls it out.
Yeah. That happened once in my story.
I can't remember the last time we had. I think the last time we had some sort of big food scare was like, we have a big like supermarket franchise over here called Tesco. And they found out that there was horse meat in the mince meat that they were selling.
What?
There was actually horse meat in it. There was a big like scare about that a few years back, but there's been nothing since. Why it was so cheap?
A big surprise.
Oh man,
the only question actually said, "Would you eat? You could eat dog food, but would you?" There's a difference between like
dog food. I wouldn't eat that.
Something that still tastes like Burger King, but it's a little bit sus as to what's in it, and eating dog food. Like
if it tastes okay, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it all depends on the taste and how it, you know.
Yeah.
Eating dog food. Yeah.
Somebody's trying me eating Metro's food, son, and it tastes good. I'll be like, you know, maybe I might have to hit this shit again.
No, I've heard of older people that actually
eat dog food.
That stuff. Yeah, like cat food and dog food. You know.
Show like there's. I'm pretty sure that there's been somebody out there who's addicted to eating dog food.
Oh yeah,
sure. Because I heard that I heard that as you get older, like old, your taste buds don't function the same. So it's not really about taste as much as it is about like getting sustenance into you. And normally cat food and stuff like that, it's a lower cost. So like normally you're more lower income families. Like when you're older and you're still lower income, you might revert to cat food and stuff because it's actually cheaper than meats. You know, it's cheaper than that kind of stuff.
And what's funny about that as well is that like I want to say like 90% of the like restaurant critics in the industry are like all old people. So it's crazy when you say that like their taste buds aren't as good as the younger people. You'd actually be better off with probably a younger generation of food critics.
Right.
Yeah. What's it called? Have you ever heard of somebody being the strange addictions? Or like I seen somebody drink, like not drink, like I guess eat air freshener. I was like, yo, what the fuck is up with this bitch? Like, motherfucker was be like, yummy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? There's some weird people, bro. There really are some weird people out there. Wait, what?
It's either weird people or weird challenges, like Tide Pod, like the pods.
Oh, yeah, that used to be a thing, too, right?
What?
At one point.
See the one where the girl was addicted to getting coffee enemas?
Coffee what?
What is that?
You know what an enema is? Like when
washing out your bum with like washing out your large intestine with water. Yeah,
send water or like I think it's a saline solution to clean out everything, and then it goes up. Like you hold like the funnel up high, like if you were chugging beer, and it goes up your ass.
Yeah,
and it clears everything out.
First of all, Cuda, your face is like mad Twitch Pride right there. Or YouTube Pride, but. What I'm saying is it's been known to clear out diseases. Like a lot of people a lot of people don't have good digestional tracts.
Run that by me one more time. How's the process go again?
So what you're doing is you're basically using water to wash the insides of your large intestine, your colon. So right? Because what happens is many people have buildup of feces or something like that, right? Okay. And that feces can end up making you sick often. Okay, right? And so since these people are not eating right most of the time or have bad digestive systems because they're overweight or something like that, then what you do is the doctor will, or you can self do this at home. You'll stick a prod up your anal canal. And what it will do is it has pressurized water that like basically cleans out all that. And so that then like normally after it happens for these people, it results in better health, clearer skin, breakouts are reduced. Like even healthy people do what are they called? Enemas. Healthy people do. So they're just
shoving pressurized water up their ass.
It's like saline, like what Nylinc said about saline solution. So it's water.
It's almost like
normally what you have in an IV.
That's so I never heard of that.
But a lot of people
I bet it is. It's you ever see South Park? The episode of South Park where they
and she got her husband doing it, so then they do it together. It's like weird.
But I don't know about coffee. Like what is that?
Yeah, she's like,
that seems unhealthy. Like that seems bad for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's high in caffeine, so you're actually giving yourself an energy
boost,
like a high. You're giving yourself a high. It's kind of like, have you ever heard of those people that take what they'll do is they'll take like tampons, dip it in alcohol, and then put it up their like anus.
I have.
The reason why you do, so the reason why you do that, and people do it all the time, or they do like, or pads, like girls will do it with pads or something. And the reason why is because those are, the skin there is super absorptive. So what it actually does is it absorbs alcohol faster than it would take it to get into your blood by consumption. So you can actually
I think I've
real fast. There's been a lot of overdoses. There's been overdoses because of this. Several times.
Like yeah. I know people who smoke alcohol. Have you ever seen people like they get a 2-liter bottle, and they just put a small bit of like alcohol in the bottom of it, and they get like a bicycle pump, right? They seal the top, they'll pump it so that that was sus. They they pump it, and then what they do is like it forces all the pressure into the bottle so that the alcohol is forced into vapor, and then they open the seal and then they smoke the vapor, the alcohol, like it's like pure alcohol. It goes straight to your brain.
Oh, so they just fuck themselves real hard.
You get like
so it's like instant. It's like that. It's like that.
Twice.
Because it enters your like bloodstream very fast when you go through the nasal canal. Like nasal, like that's why nasal sprays like for sinuses and stuff work so fast, because you actually have like openings that will allow it to come in real fast.
That's crazy. Oh man, hey bro, if you do that, listen, I don't want to be your friend. I'm blind. I'm saying like, don't talk to me. If I find out you do that,
yeah.
Wait, what?
But I've heard that the highs are like you getting drunk are very like crazy, and people have died from it. Like the tampon thing.
People die every day, B.
Right. But that tampon thing where they do that kind of thing, and it's uncontrollable because you can't manage your intake. Your body just absorbs it all and puts it straight into your bloodstream.
That makes sense. Shit, man. All right, we're gonna go to the next topic. This one is actually, I don't know if I think maybe JR might know this. But I don't know if you guys heard about the Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion situation. Where Tory Lanez the rapper and Megan Thee Stallion the rapper were chilling one night, or I think one day, and Tory Lanez actually shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, and it became a big whole like argument where Megan Thee Stallion basically was shot, and weeks later she Tory Lanez played like the victim, or saying that it was really it was really her that was acting up and all this shit, that I didn't shoot her, that she's doing this for clout and all this. And then she finally came out saying like, hey, he's the one who shot me, blah blah blah, and exposed him. Oh no, actually it went out where they speculated Tory Lanez, because she never really reported, or no one reported that she was shot. Like, she was shot, but they didn't know who it was, and they were all speculating Tory Lanez. And when it did happen, he was like gloating over it, like, yeah, I shot her and all this shit. But then she exposed him, saying like, oh yeah, it was him and all this yada yada talk. So I'm guessing you guys didn't hear about that.
No, I didn't hear any of that.
You hear about that? It's been very big. This is actually a big thing.
Like, Tory Lanez, but I didn't look into it.
Yeah, you didn't hear anything about it?
No, I said I heard of it a little, but I don't know. What's the question? What are we asking?
Like, what are your thoughts?
Like,
Who was in the yeah? Like, you think it was who was in the wrong? I thought you guys knew a little bit.
I think that anyone that ever gets shot from another person who endangers their person is always in the wrong.
And actually, he's been trending on YouTube because he came out with a new music video where he's out and about, and people are like hating him. Like, they're like, you shot her, and he's using that as like a clout, as a boost. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I was just drunk and I just shot her, blah blah blah. And she's out here saying like, you know, she's not talking all this this trash. You know, she was just, you know, being the victim. And also she didn't go out and about like, you know, letting everybody know on the internet like, hey, he shot me and all this, because there was or like she didn't even like make it a big thing, because there was actually police that pulled up on them when she got shot. And she was scared that, because since they were in a group of black individuals, they thought getting involved with the police would make the situation a lot, you know, crazier. So, and
it might have
gotten even worse than what it was, you know, especially since he has the gun in his hand when this happens. You know, seeing somebody with a black minority with a gun, you know, it would go, you know, get down, you know, get crazier. So I think
it might go sideways real fast.
Yeah. So she did. I feel like, in my eyes, I think she did the right move. She didn't, you know, she's not talking any smack. She eventually had to, you know.
So like, I think that either way, if she had reported him or if she had done what she did, she made the best decision for herself. Yeah. And I have to respect that decision, but it wouldn't have been wrong if she had done it either way. It wouldn't have been wrong, because he shouldn't be intoxicated to the point in which he's shooting people.
Yeah, and they're like friends, and now they're not anymore, you know?
You know, or like fucking, you're supposed to have, like, aren't you supposed to have your shit locked up in like a gun safe and everything? You shouldn't be carrying.
Oh, but these are rappers though. These are rappers that, you know, they have millions of dollars. They don't give a fuck. They do whatever they want. They probably have like more than that.
Do you see when Dax was talking shit about Tory Lanez, and they like, him and all his boys pulled up on him, and they were like, "Say sorry."
Oh, so I heard of some shit like that where like
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry. And yo, Tory Lanez is like 4'1" or something, bro. He's short as fuck apparently. I didn't know that. In the music videos, he looks, you know, average height. You know,
good angles, good angles. Just like with you, Cuda.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was gonna be like, just like JRPartlowIV.
Angles from the top.
Keep him guessing how tall. But in reality, I stand up, I'm like 7'5".
He's like 6 feet in front of Rob, and I just made it look.
You got fucking Danny DeVito over there, like 4'1" over there. Oh man! Yep. All right, well that goes with that. Now I kind of want to get into like the questions. Now, what's everybody's favorite season?
Favorite season of COD.
Like you know, winter,
favorite
summer.
Season of COD? Season 6.
Season 6 for sure. No, favorite season, like what when it comes to like, you know, winter, summer, fall,
summer.
Why though?
Yeah. Why? I'm from Atlanta. Hot Atlanta. You know,
and doesn't it snow there?
Huh?
Doesn't it snow pretty hard over there though?
No, it does ice storms. So those are a little bit different. They're just ice. Like it rains and then it freezes real bad.
Oh, so it gets icy.
So it gets icy and you can't leave your house for days or something like that. And trees fall down because of the weight of ice, you know, water and ice on them.
Right.
So yeah, and like normally your electricity goes out and stuff like that. So I think favorite part is like summer. I think because I'm from the dirty South.
South.
There we love the heat. I've always loved the heat. I've always loved going outside. Playing sports and stuff like that. So yeah, I think the summer.
What about Nylinc? What about you, man?
I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a toss up between summer and fall. I think fall.
Fall?
Probably.
Why?
I think fall. It's when all shit comes out, all the new movies, games, fucking
That's a good point.
like products. The consoles are coming out in fall. You know what I mean? Everything comes out in fall.
All this technology, man. That for me, it's always been summer. Always. But now thinking about it, really, I might have to say fall too, just because it's not fucking freezing yet. But it's hoodie season. Like, I can wear a hoodie, and I love wearing hoodies, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, wearing a hoodie and not being super hot or super cold, it's like a perfect balance. And like you said, it also, that's the perfect time for everything, as in like new games, new technology, just very like just news in general is just very it just happens all around the fall. The summer though is that's the thing. I've always been summer just because of the heat. I love being active outside. You could do anything outside. You don't have to be trapped inside. I don't like being too trapped. Like, staying inside playing video games all day. Like I want to be outside and wear a t-shirt and not always wear a hoodie or wear a jacket, because that's another thing. I like wearing jackets, but I don't like wearing heavy coats and stuff like that. I really despise the winter. It's just so annoying because I hate the cold weather, getting sick, all that shit. In the summer it's very hard to get sick. It's possible, but it's just
COVID happened all during the summer. So
listen, COVID is I feel like COVID is gonna be very fucking tough.
In the winter months, and fall,
I think like for me, the weather plays less of a factor in it, just because the weather's pretty like. It's more consistent over here. Like it's always fucking more or less cold and it rains, or like it's a normal temperature. It's never really like the hottest it gets is like, I don't know, 28, maybe 30 degrees like max, Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but
so it's like 70.
So it's less to do with the actual like weather of the season, and it's more just like what happens in the seasons is what I'm interested in.
That is true.
To me,
and I'd probably feel the same way if I like lived in California or something.
See, that's the thing. It also depends where you're at, because if you live in Cali, bro, like who gives a fuck if it's winter or summer? It's hot. It's hot girl summer every day. You know what I'm saying? It's literally hot. Like right now, I bet like it's literally been the same. It's not maybe a little colder, breezy. Probably in the winter, it's maybe the coldest it ever gets. It's probably like what it is in the summer for here. You know what I'm saying? Or not, sorry, how it is like, it is now in fall. Like, it's not the craziest. Maybe it gets a little cold. But, I can imagine living in Cali and thinking, like, no Christmas, no snow. But I kind of love having snow. But it depends, certain, like if it snows on Christmas, that's like a Christmas miracle.
Freaky, you got to remember, JR is not reading chat, so he doesn't know if you're watching.
Freaky, I'm not reading chat either.
He's laughing at you.
I know they're calling me like fucking idiots.
Yeah, Freaky called me too.
Yeah, fuckers. Yeah.
What'd he say?
He's laughing at you because you were like, I'm on Cuda's podcast. Like, he can't see you right now.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. Because my internet is out, so. Yeah.
Let's talk about CR, man. In the future. I'll CR a little bit. What members we have right now? We got me, Robert, aka the founder of Crit the Grain. Another founder used to be part of Crit the Grain, Mr. Jenth. I know you want to, JR off stream. I know, or off the podcast. You wanted to say a certain thing.
I gotta talk my ish to Jen.
Talk your fucking shit, man.
No, I don't think it's necessary on this podcast.
No,
he knows where we stand.
Shit, man.
He knows where we stand, young Jenth. He knows where we stand.
Oh, so it's a confirmed boxing match? Question mark?
I think we need it. I think we need it for Cryptic Rain.
Oh my God! Announcement. Listen,
run up or be done up. That's what he lives by. So let's run up or be done up. And I love that.
That's so funny. I still pop out the June stream.
Oh, for sure. That's my brother right there. That's literally my brother right there. You know what I'm saying?
I was just messing with him the other day.
Nah, we always joke around.
I gifted him subs, and then I was like, you can't do nothing now. And it was like I could just say whatever I wanted to.
That's such a funny thing. But listen, man, I'm very like happy for what have we done, as in like just a bondage with Crit the Grain, and like we're at least we're all on the same page. We've done, we're going at the right pace. Listen, on the real, man, like I believe in it, man. Like I think about it all the time. I'm like, hey, man, like this is going the right pace. The right people are here. Let's just hope, we have the same energy, the same positivity. The community's amazing, man. Like beyond, like, besides, out of here, like the ones that pop out of the stream and like show each other support, and the Discord, man. I don't know if I have it in the description here, but be sure to join that, because I'm telling you, the most active Discord. Off and on the stream, we're always talking. Like if I could literally be off stream for like a month, and I think everyone will still be, talking. Like it's a true community, and what we built, and what we're building. The fact that we're just finding each other, like going from YouTube to Mixer and the Twitch, and wherever, like, if the Twitch ever like gets canceled, like wherever we go, we're gonna be sticking. And I don't know.
JRPartlow the 4th versus Jint confirmed boxing match December 27th.
That would be beautiful. I would just love to get some bets in the air and everything, so we could just clear that up. I think it's done in the first round, KO, easy.
Who are you? You're done?
Oh yeah, duh.
He got you by height. He's pretty tall. He's pretty big too.
I don't worry about the height. Bigger they are, harder they fall.
Oh. Listen. Since this is YouTube, and I don't like censoring myself, like I don't go fuck what I say here, but I do want to keep it a little professional. But at the same time, I do want to talk about this, and I know this might be a little uncomfortable, just a little bit, but not too uncomfortable. Ooh. Let's talk about just the last topic, and the last thing. Viewbots. We've had this problem before. Viewbots and our famous Mr. T and our famous Mr. M. Thoughts? Yeah. What could be, what we've learned, what can we do to prevent, and let's just talk about, and just in general about that situation, as obviously pertaining to me for what happened, and just the whole, like, what I'm saying. What are your thoughts on viewbots now?
I don't think there's anything that you can really do to prevent it, other than maybe like report the person who you think is doing it to Twitch, and then hopefully they can, like, trace their IP or whatever. But I can't see any way of actually combating the issue. But all you can do is just like try your best. You know what I mean? Like, the situation that you were in, I mean, getting like ridiculous numbers of views obviously weren't real people, but it wasn't you doing it. So it's like you have no control. You might as well just ride the wave and wait until it stops.
It's crazy. And listen, in the end, we eventually won, exactly what we predicted.
Yeah.
It stopped, you don't got that much money. And listen, it's just in general for anybody who does cheat in anything, like if you cheat in a video game, if you cheat in viewbots, if you cheat in like literally anything in life, man, like just know, like, you're never like, it's always gonna hit you back. Like it's never fair. Like if you don't expect yourself to like, go far with that, like if you steal, if you do certain things, it's just, I believe in karma so much. I don't know about you guys, but like I try my best to be like, do everything right, try to be the realest person, even though I fuck up a lot and I do a lot of bad things. Demon time. I try to do the right thing at the end of the day, and I don't know, cheating, viewbotting, any of that is just like would eventually get back to you. Like I learned it the hard way with like karma, with like messing with people and hitting you back. It's just not the right way to go. And if anyone ever like cheats to do something, like in a certain way, let's just listen to think about like in the future, like how's that's gonna affect you, like as a person too.
Yeah,
like,
and I think
you're gonna be a cheater for life. Just know, and you're gonna know it. Maybe not everybody's gonna know you are, but maybe deep down you're gonna know you're a fucking cheater. And it's like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. Like if I do something bad like that, it will stick to me. I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
Right, and I think that like one part of this is what happened to you, Cuda, where you got simp view bots. But another part of it is the actual person that's doing it for their stream clout, and that's a different issue. And I think that circles back to what we talked about earlier about as a content creator, I have a social responsibility to my audience. And I think that like social responsibility that I should uphold for myself is honesty, transparency, and a certain amount of anonymity to, like to the people that are involved, like such as we're saying Mr. T, Mr. M. We could say the names, but why breathe life into people that don't matter? Right.
That's true. I just want to use them as an example, really.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're not naming them because they're not important.
Yeah,
it's just examples of like those who know, those who don't.
The ones that do.
And I think that the biggest thing is that as a responsible person, I know that the deception of my community is never the right path to go. I don't want to deceive them because then everything that comes out of my lips later will be deceit. It's hard to recover from, lying to people and stealing from people versus building a community based off of honesty, honor, and respect. And when you build that, then you have a true community that cares about you, actually loves you, and you care about them and love them too. And that's what we're trying to create with Cryptic Rain. That's what we're trying to create just in general as content creators.
We stay drippy, baby.
That's what we want to do. And I think that's the bigger thing. Like I want to be, and I think we want to be content creators that are socially responsible as well. Right.
Sure.
And that does not include view botting or doing anything other than working with these crazy algorithms, which you're able to, hey, if you can figure out the algorithm and make it work for you, that's not cheating.
Listen, that's the thing.
That's not cheating. That's
you know what the crazy thing is, man? There really is ways to build a community and really succeed if you really want to. It's just, bro, you really got to put in the work, bro. And I think that's what people hate doing, literally putting in the work for it. You don't have to have the perfect fucking stream. You don't have to have the perfect anything to do certain things. You can start from the fucking bottom and make your way up. Listen, you could literally you could be a little Timmy with a fucking Xbox and a face cam and nothing else. No stream, nothing, no setup, no crazy anything, and still make it. It's just you got to take the right steps. You got to truly network the right way. And it's definitely possible. And listen, not saying that we're like there yet, but listen, I definitely know we're in the right steps, and everything that we're doing is the right things that we're doing. I don't want to know that I made my way up by cheating. Eventually backlash, because I don't know if you know, but like bigger people eventually get caught. Like they make it, but then they get caught, and then they look at them, they're getting fucked. And it's not really cheating, but I'll give you an example like Shane Dawson. I don't know if you heard about that, but he didn't do like a cheating mechanism or anything, but he talked about like just shit backlashing on you. He was doing the little, jerking off to like what, to Jaden, no, what is it, Willow Smith? I think his old videos where it was the old him doing like, certain, content where it was just like, I'm saying, very skeptical and like very like, whoa, like, but like he's changed. Obviously he made it, big, not necessarily cheating, but just to think, things that you do in the past can affect you in the future, and just your personality and how you act and what, like I said, your actions, even if you do right or wrong, if you do anything wrong, just expect something to come back to you, don't be surprised. Because like for Shane Dawson, bro, he did that and he didn't think anything of it. Like he was like, oh, that's funny. And yeah, some people laughed. I even like, but that shit was hilarious. But just think there's the way the future's been, like, people are like very sensitive, and obviously you gotta be prepared for that. And it's kind of hard. It is hard because I know for a lot of people that do edgy content, it's tougher to grow off that shit. But like, it will backlash. Like, the backlash is like insane. Like it will get to you eventually. For Shane Dawson, as an example, he got fucking canceled hard, man. Like, I don't know if you guys heard.
Of course, yeah. People dig up old tweets and videos. And
yeah, bro. Like Kevin Hart said, "What I hate," like something N-words or some shit. Like, I'm like, what? Like, or like some old people, like shit in the past. Like, I'm like, what? Like, why does that matter?
Yeah, no, he didn't say N-words. He said something homophobic.
A homophobic, his son, right?
In a joking, no, it's like a joking manner, but he was talking about basically homophobia, and this is before, the LGBTQ movement.
Right, but that's the thing, shit. He didn't know.
then it was culturally acceptable. Now it's culturally unacceptable. So, like, and he didn't know, and that's why I think that when you are put up against a wall against something that you once did, you should acknowledge it, which he did. And then another thing that he did was, because he didn't want to sully anything that could possibly happen at that award ceremony, like where he's the topic rather than these great artists and production, like these movies and everything. What he did was he denied it. Like, he stepped away from it. He was like, I'm not gonna do it, because then the story will be Kevin Hart does this.
Yeah,
and I can't believe they put him up here at the Oscars or whatever. Like, when he's really known for whatever. Cancel culture is very dangerous.
It is. Especially now.
It judges you unfairly. We
gotta cancel culture, bro.
But it doesn't. Cancel culture does not assume the person innocent before proving guilty. It considers you guilty, and then we're gonna prove you're guilty. That's a problem, because our own judicial system, you're innocent until proven guilty. Even if the judicial system is messed up, even if the criminal justice system is messed up, at the end of the day, I'm assumed innocent until you have to prove me guilty. But when it comes to cancel culture, it's a mob mentality that jumps onto something, and
it's crazy.
It says, you're guilty. You're guilty. You're guilty. Just like in Game of Thrones, the Walk of Shame, shame. Like, it's that version of shaming, and it's easy for like people that are not involved in the situation to do that. Shaming is always easy. Self-reflection is always hard. Looking at yourself and being like, man, have I messed up like that before? Yeah, I did say some homophobic stuff back in the day. I used to call people this, or I used to call people that, and we used to joke in high school about this.
Bro, and that's the thing. But like,
you bring up stuff that I said back then. Hey, if there were people recording, but they wasn't. And it was socially acceptable back then to say it when we would joke about it. Like, hey, you're this or you're that, and people would laugh and like that.
Give me an example. Even me, for sure. Like, I've done shit. I'm scared to even go back to my YouTube shit. I've definitely said some fucking stupid things where it could be very, 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 controversial on like who I am or how I was back then, and I like, again, that makes it as like a person, like a content creator, like now I gotta like look at what I've done before, I gotta like control that. Like, how do I? It's harder for the content creator, and also like it's just like for like, I guess, a little like a reminder for how you are now. Because like if you say like
the thing, people do grow and people change, and
people do eventually change. So that's the thing.
From the past that people have said before, it's judging them unfairly, like JR said, in the sense that you're not judging me anymore. You're judging me from 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, people grow and change, and they develop different opinions on things, and they're different people.
And some people don't change. Some people stay the same, but they hide it. So it's like, fuck.
I think that the thing that you could be judged against, that you could bring up from the past, is if I killed somebody or I was killing, if I did something and it's now found out, and I'm like, why are you bringing it up? I changed. I'm a father, and I understand that. Nah. You're gonna be held accountable for that. But
it definitely depends on the thing. Like, it's situational.
Yeah, when it's things that are socially, like social things, because society changes what's acceptable and unacceptable with the blink of an eye. One day it was acceptable. Now today it's not. At one point, women being not paid equal to men was very acceptable.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like, women should get paid the same for a man doing the same task. Right. And that shouldn't have been some revelation back then, but it was socially acceptable back then. And what are you saying, Nylinc?
Yeah, even like, the fact that we've been talking about, we were talking about homophobic things, and like we say N-word instead of the other thing, but before it would have been acceptable to just say the full word. You know what I mean? But now it's not.
Like, as a content creator, I'm like, fuck, I can't say shit like that. But I also try to censor myself as much as I can, even though I like sometimes. Listen. We're still growing, and we're still like, who I am. Like, for the ones that know, how I act, how I am. I guess it's reckless as fuck. But listen, that's who I am. It's definitely, I know for a fact. I kind of expect myself to fall into. So like when I do things like that, or do say things, you know, I do expect like some backlash eventually, you know, like don't think I'm gonna be saying that shit and not expect something. So I try, even off stream or on stream or like anywhere I'm at, I think about it a little bit sometimes. Sometimes I don't, sometimes it just comes out, but then I'm always like, damn, that's gonna affect me. So yeah, it's just scary.
I think that there was a certain hesitation that I once had in the arena of what I could say, like the N-word and stuff like that. But I've kind of like, because I am a minority and I am black, I've kind of started to like own it. When I do say it, I say it, you know. But it might come back to bite me, or it might come back to just help me relate better with my community. You know, like I just have to accept that casualty.
The thing about that actually is that's an interesting thing. Do you think in the future nobody will be allowed to say that word, and even black people?
I don't know. I think that there's two different usage cases for the word.
Yeah.
There's a usage.
And in discriminatory sense, I don't think it's ever okay.
Well, I say that there's a usage case that it comes from a place of hate, right? There is a usage case that it demeans someone, and there's a usage case that it actually enfranchises someone into a family, into a network of unenfranchised people. So it's kind of like using something negative as a positive, and I don't think that necessarily I don't think, according to studies, that's not detrimental to a community, and it actually brings community and family around. Like when you make a negative thing that, you know, like that socially by the hierarchy or the majority has deemed you as unfit or this. And I think it was the same thing done to, you know, like any immigrant that has come to the United States at any given time has been labeled. And has been like when Asians came over, they were actual, you know, like what many people don't know is in World War II, there were concentration camps, not just in Germany, not just with Hitler, but there were concentration camps in the United States after D-Day. You know, after Pearl Harbor was hit, not we, but the United States of America put Asian people and Pacific Islanders in concentration camps in the United States, and they were not treated well. And they were demeaned, and people more than likely died in them. You know, like, so that's a story that we don't tell in American history because it's not the best of America. We tell it, we dedicate a portion of a chapter to it, but then we breeze right over it, you know, because let's focus on Hitler and those concentration camps. It's easier to point the finger of shame on someone that can't, like right now, Hitler's dead. He couldn't really tell you that, well, y'all were doing it too. He can't do that. You know, like, so it's easier to cast blame on an unvoiced party than it is to like really look in. And I think that that's one thing that COVID-19 and also the happenings that have happened during the COVID-19 in the United States has also brought forth a lot of resting issues that are still persistent, that have not died after slavery or have not died after we thought they were done. Like we thought, oh, the nation's over this, we move forward. But honestly, we're not over it. We haven't moved forward. All we've done is repressed it, in many cases, pulled the carpet up and swept it underneath. And now what's happening in COVID-19, so many people are at home and they have time to lift up the carpet and say, man, this shit stinks.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that about the Hitler thing too. Like, you're right. Like he I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? Yeah. He could have been saying the exact same thing you said. How the fuck do we know that? Like, if this should happen now, it would definitely would have been a different story. Or maybe something, I don't know. I know it's just like, that's the thing. That's what gets great. Like, you know.
Like to what you're saying, Cuda, I know that if like World War II happens now or World War I happens now, you know what's different about different between now and then is media and how media travels.
Bro, are you listen, bro, you know what's scary? That's the thing. Social media is so fucking scary. The internet is so scary. And like, you know, if you know what, that also brings another thing, like almost a little off topic, but the whole, like, listen, if you try to kill somebody, right? Think about murder back in the day. How many, you know, you get away with murder back in the day so easily compared to now. You kill somebody, you will eventually be found. It's so hard. It has to be so plain. You can't even talk about it because you're monitored at all times, bro. There's a microphone everywhere in every room in your house. Think about it right now. There's got to be a monitor. There's like a mic everywhere. There's a phone. There's an Alexa. There's cameras.
You're being listened to and watched all the
even
time.
right now.
And that's why, like, you can't. I'm afraid for, like, I mean, freedom of speech and stuff. Going down the line, you know, because people can fucking hear everything you're saying. You won't be able to say anything that's not deemed socially acceptable.
Our FBI agent right now is like, yo, fuck you, guy. You know, he's
actually circling back a little bit to your point about how America only seems to highlight, you know, the best of America in history, and you don't seem to ever expose, you know, the negative things. Did you know, as a funny little fact, did you know that Irish people were actually also called the N-word by Americans when we first emigrated?
Really?
Yeah, and there used to be signs outside bars saying it was like no blacks, then no Irish, then no dogs.
Wow, that's insane. Actually, no Irish. Like specifically the Irish group. That's crazy.
And what's so funny is about a nation that was built upon freedom and upon the principles of, like, literally the reason why America, before the genocide of the Indians and the natives, America is formed based off of pilgrims coming over because they wanted freedom from religious suppression. Like the Church of, you know, Great Britain, the British Church, like they wanted you to all worship in their church. And these pilgrims come over because they're seeking a life where they can worship however they please, whether it be Pentecostal or Catholic or Jewish or whatever. They wanted to be themselves. And for a nation that was about opening its doors to everyone is now like, so, hey, close the doors to everyone, and you're different, thus you're not allowed, and you're not cool because you look different than me. You know, a nation that was built upon, hey, there were different people, there were different races, there were different everything that came together. And it might not have been the most prettiest of histories, but it was what America was founded upon. Whether we hold to those standards today is a different thing. And I wanted to say to Nylinc's point, I think that, you know, like, freedom of speech is an illusion. It's always been an illusion.
Yeah, you know, it's been used against, you know, it's been used against and helped you. You know, like, it's, people have used it in so many ways, in so many wrong ways. You know, they use it again as a tool, almost like as a, like, you know, like, oh, I could get away with certain things because you know, freedom of speech is always there. Like, I could, like, they use it as a step stool to bad thing, you know, leading to like, for they like, what is it? What's the word I'm trying to find? Like, it's like a stepping stool for what it's really used as, being manipulated. Like, the word
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's used as a double-edged sword.
Like
you can.
They're not using it for what it's really, you know, for. You know, they're using freedom of speech as a.
There is unspoken rules about what you can say and not say.
Right. And I said that, you know, like, freedom of speech is an illusion only because it's normally granted to people it's granted from the power to the unpowerful. Right. And so if it's granted to you, then it's easy that if you speak against power, then power will shut you down.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like, so if freedom of speech is so free, then why do people that speak out also find themselves missing persons later?
Right.
Or find themselves dead suspiciously, you know, later. So it's like, freedom of speech is good until you're saying something against the majority or against the ruling class. And once you're speaking out against the ruling class, you know what they're going to do? They're going to figure out ways of deleting you. Or deleting your voice.
It's like a game of Among Us, bro. Like, you like, all right, everyone has to agree together. And if one kid says, yo, I can say this because and if everyone agrees with it, they're like, okay, that's right. That's right and wrong. You know,
right.
So it shouldn't be like that.
And I think that if you look at history, you also see that many of the people that actually exercise, like, being a true leader and being a true revolutionary is about understanding the risk and accepting the risk because the cause is bigger than yourself. You know, that's a Mahatma Gandhi, that's a Martin Luther King, that's a, you know, like, Churchill. That's like, these are those people that were, hey, you can kill me, you can take my life away, but this cause is necessary and the risk is necessary for that cause.
Yeah, and it won't die with me either.
Right.
Yeah.
It actually became bigger. It swells bigger, and more impact happened in their death than happened through their life. Like their life would have led to a lot of words and maybe slow change, but when they died and then people started to like really examine it, open their eyes, why is this person dead? It led towards reform across the board, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, listen, guys. I don't want to be the fucking guy, but we actually are out of time with the podcast today. Yeah, but listen, for the ones that are watching right now, be sure to drop a like. For the ones that are watching this as a pre-recorded video, be sure to leave a like as well. I definitely do not want to leave this where it was. I want to continue off of what we were just talking about. Listen, chat, if you guys want chat, or if you're watching this video, leave a like, tell us if you want more of these. And if I definitely gotta have Nylinc and JR again, because listen, I don't want to be that guy, but we actually are out of time right now, and we have a lot to talk about, and actually we didn't even finish all the topics, surprisingly, Yeah. But listen, it's an honor to have everybody here tonight and watching at home. We're all watching at home. This is our first ever Cuda podcast virtually. Listen, let's carry on where we ended. Maybe, I'm not sure. These are not scheduled podcasts. The conversations are getting actually really juicy. Listen, that's why I love these podcasts. You start with one topic, and you could go forever. At one point, I've done the podcast for like 4 hours. Where it just keeps going. But unfortunately, I am actually out of time right now. But listen, for the ones that are watching, check the description. Leave a like, follow the Instagrams, the Twitters. This is the CR members right here, the first ones. If you want to see Andy, any future people, if you want to get involved yourself, be sure to hit me up. I kind of want to have it like a little bit of a secret on who I put on here. I might do maybe 4 people, 1 person, 2 persons. It could be, it depends on how many we could do. But if you want to see more of these, let me know. Let us know. Follow the Cryptic Rain socials. Cryptic Rain, the fucking gang. Listen, guys, unfortunately, we gotta end it. But any last words from Nylinc? Anything?
Yeah, I see Soul and a few people in the chat saying boo, and it was just getting good.
Yeah, no, listen, we're going to carry on. We definitely got to do another episode. This is episode 7 of the podcast. If you want to see any of the older ones, be sure to show some love. Watch them, man. They're interesting. You see how different everything is, especially with people you're with. Like, this is, now, I feel like we have definitely a different bond compared to, like, people I know IRL, So let me know who you want to see on here. If you want to see a part 2 of this, basically another episode. Because I've done episodes where it's same people, 2 different guests, stuff like that. Let me know, because I definitely want to continue off this one. If you want to see the next episode with me, Nylinc, and JR again, let me know. Or maybe even add somebody else, maybe a potential Andy, another CR, all the CR members, Robert, Reaper. Let me know. We can continue off for sure. JR, any last words as well you want to say to people?
I just want to say at the end of the day, and like every opportunity to voice. First of all, remember, as you're an audience watching us, remember that you have a voice and you matter.
100%.
Right?
Thank you for being here.
The reason why we do this is because we understand that for ourselves, and we're using our voice, hopefully, just to sometimes expose things, sometimes to understand things better, and then sometimes to really just, hey, call bad by its right name and say, hey, this is bad or this is wrong. But I encourage you, if you're in the States, register to vote. I don't care how you vote.
Register
to vote.
My brother registered the other day. Your voice matters.
Voting matters, and your voice matters. And even if you're underage and you can't vote yet, continue to voice out injustice wherever you are, to whatever power there is. And it's not just for minorities; it's for everyone. Like, injustice doesn't just happen to those in the lower ends of society. It also happens at every end of society. So just remember to be that voice.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And if anybody wants to use their voice anymore and speak up about any of the things that we just talked about tonight, I personally, anyway, I'm not sure about anybody else, but I will be in the Cryptic Rain Discord for a little bit longer to talk to anybody who's in chat about what we just talked about.
Hey, we gotta see it. All right, we're gonna wrap it here, guys. Unfortunately, I gotta end it. I'm sorry. I really want to continue with the next episode. Will definitely be longer. I just didn't. The scheduling was very like off between us and just me in general. So definitely gonna do another one. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, and I definitely want to do another one, and we'll definitely continue. This is our first ever virtual one. Let's do more of these. Yo, gang, JR, Nylinc, thank you for fucking being here, man. You crit the grain, you know the fucking gang. We're going big. We're going to shoot for the moon. You know what I'm saying? For the moon, baby. Woo.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I'll see you guys. I don't know when. This is on YouTube. You can rewatch this from the start to beginning. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah. Bye.
We out.
We out in this motherfucker. See y'all, crit the grain, you know the gang.